So we are halfway through the Baller League UK Season 2 campaign, and already we've had some surprises and some shocks in store. We're going to get ready for a brand new week coming up, match week 6 of Baller League UK. Before we get into our conversation today, ahead of this particular match week, here are the fixtures for those who may not know. So first up, United and MVPs United will face each other, two former Final Four contestants. Then we've got the 26ers taking on the champions SDS FC. Following that, Vision FC taking on Clutch FC, NDL FC taking on bottom side Rukkas FC, of course two of the newcomers this year. We also have Wembley Rangers against M7 FC before the league leaders N5 FC take on Depot Trio, another former Final Four contestant. Joining us today is Clinton from Roots TV, one of the top UK football content creators who I know has done some, and as many of you know, has done some great Ball League content in the past. Clinton, welcome to PT Sports, Primetime Sports. How are you, first of all?
I'm all good, man. Thank you for having me, and thank you for having me on PT Sports, man. It's a pleasure.
Really appreciate you being on the show. We're going to kick off sort of talking about the upcoming games and a few talking points going into this week. So we're going to kick off with United, really, because it's clear to say they've not had the season yet. I think they've not really kicked on, but they just got their recent win with the Bob Boys in charge, in temporary charge, while Angry Ginger's down under in Australia. So obviously Steve Bracknell's been taken over for a couple of weeks, then the Bob Boys took over, and finally they've got that win on the board. It's not been an easy season for United. What do you think's different this season compared to last season?
Well, it's clear as day. I think Ginger's the problem, clearly. You know. No, I'm kidding. Nah, look, they probably thought it would be similar to last season, but a lot of teams will probably say the same thing. Like, this season's been very eye-opening. Some of the teams that have done not so well last season, like N5, are clearly restructured and got a team together that's pretty much can win the whole thing. So maybe they took it a little bit too lightly. But you look at their window in terms of the signings that they made, John Bostock and Brian Lee, two excellent signings, retaining PK Humble. You would think to yourself, they've still got a strong core, a strong team there. But I think everyone's just done that little bit extra in terms of, you know, getting the players there in and coming up with a different style of playing. And they've kind of been found out, if that makes sense. Sorry to say, but it's the truth, and it's a reflection in the results so far.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that, and hopefully this match against MVP is an opportunity to try and get that second win on the bounce and really try and make up for lost ground, really. Let's move on to one of the surprise packages. They're going to be last in the calendar this week, N5 FC. I mean, what a rise. We thought when they lost their star player from last season, Brian Lee, we thought, oh, they're going to be in for a struggle this season. It seems like something's clicked into gear. The Invincibles era has really clicked into gear in this particular team, and the addition of SV2 as part of this side's coaching department has really kicked it up a notch as well. I mean, M5 have really surprised people this year.
Yeah, definitely. It's definitely surprised me. I mean, last season's whipping boys, and now this season's title contenders. I mean, when I heard about E-Man getting involved, I thought, he's not going to be playing again. Like, obviously played on last season, but no, he's joined the coaching side. I don't know if it's his recruitments or it's a bit of everyone else's, kind of mixed it into one, but they've really made some smart signings, like Martin Vaghorn. Oof. Like, I didn't know too much about his playing career. Obviously, I know he played for the likes of Derby and a few other teams as well, but I didn't think he was going to come in and hit the ground running. And really and truly, you think to yourself, Brian Lee, who? Like, I know he's last season's top goal scorer, but at the same time, like, they're not missing him too much, are they? I mean, they got the likes of him. I think it's George Nikac as well. He's been a revelation as well. The blonde lad, Jack, I've lost his now, the blonde guy anyway, but he's been a fantastic player for them as well. So they really have, like, made some smart signings. And again, even the coaching staff as well. I know obviously Perez and E-Man take all the plaudits, but the coach as well, I think he's really got them well drilled, well organised and all the rest of it now. And only just to lose this week just goes to show how well they've been doing. They've unbeaten up until this week. So with this week just gone, sorry. So really and truly, like, I'd expect to see them in the Final Four at least. I don't think they can step up from here.
No, it'd be up there with one of the Mikel Arteta seasons in the past if they end up bottling this. I mean, well, I mean, they've got Deportivo this week. I mean, that's not going to be an easy game at all, despite where Deportivo are in the table currently, halfway through the regular season. It's going to be a difficult one to really test the nerve and the steel and the metal of N5's top table resistance.
Yeah, I call Depot Trio Old Boy Trio because they're so reliant on the old boys. I call them Nursing Home FC because they seem to have like the older lot on lock in terms of obviously you got Micah and Daniel Sturridge there, but then you look at their team, Jolien Lescott, Marvin Sordell, Stephen Ireland, they had Uma Nias earlier on. So again, they've really gone down that whole older, retired footballer route. And I think to myself, it needs that kind of nice mix and blend of young and old. And I think in this last week just gone, the playing side was a bit younger. They had the likes of Mampolo, who's always a threat. Adam Dawson, he scored arguably the goal of the season last season. So I think once they find that nice mixture of experience, maybe at the back, and then the quick, pacey, skillful players up top, then they can really be a threat going into these latter games of the season.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's move on to our current defending champions, SDSFC. I mean, they may not be top spot right now, but of course, that man, he's at it again. Kazaiah still in the top scorer in Baller League UK. He's the next Doncaster Rovers player, so when I first saw him in the league, I thought, that's where he is now. Ripped it up, and then second season, he's just ripping the whole script up again. He's proving to be the MVP of goal scoring in this Baller League campaign again.
Yeah, very consistent. Like that's what I've got to give him credit for. Very consistent from season one to season two. Last season's MVP. He's already got a few MVP of the Knights this season already. Saving SDS's season. I mean, there's a reason why they're 13 games unbeaten now. So he's definitely a key threat for them. And really and truly, they just need to keep him fit, keep him firing, feed him as much as possible, and then yeah, that's their ticket to make it to the final four for sure. So Kazaiah Sterling, what a player, what a find for SDS.
Yeah, he's been one of the gems of this whole Baller League journey from season one to now in season two. It's going to be a difficult one against the 26ers because they're going to want to come into this with their defensive mentalities on point against someone like Kazaiah Sterling. With someone like John Terry managing the 26ers, surely he's got to bring the mentality of a defensive nature to help stop this top scorer.
Yeah, I think defensively they're fine. I know a few of their players, Jardel Sterling, good player, who plays at the back. And then obviously they've got Emmanuel Rowe up top, but I think they really miss out on Saka-san, who's been a really big miss. Obviously, he's not allowed to play due to his non-league commitments at Willstone, but yeah, it's going to be a tough one for them. I mean, they still got a good attacking threat. Bilal Sayed, he's got a wonderful left foot. Connor Wood as well. He adds goals to the team as well. But I really feel like they're really going to miss out on the goal contribution from Saka-san. Saka-san and Bilal Sayed together were, probably the best pairing in Baller League, hands down. So again, they're going to really miss that. So I think SDS might edge this one.
Absolutely. One of the, I guess, sort of standout games from an atmosphere perspective is going to have to be NDL FC versus Rukkas FC. I mean, first of all, let's speak about Rukkas FC. No wins this season so far in Ball League UK in their first season of operation as a team. I mean, what do you think is needed to get that first win, especially coming up against an atmosphere that we'll talk about later, the Yellow Wall?
Oh, Aaron, you're gonna take me there, aren't you? I mean, I know a few of the coaches there at Rukkas, so I always make the joke there that they've been called Whisper FC, and they're not making any noise or any ruckus so far. I mean, the points say it for themselves, or the score say it for themselves, should I say? Yeah, it's a tough one, man. They're new to the league, new management, new players, new setup altogether. Um, I mean, some of the players have played there before. They're not really hit the ground running, not to dig too many names out, but, it's just clear as day. Something's just not clicking there. And I think sometimes they might just need to go back to basics, man. Like the transfer window's open now, or it might have just closed by the time this video goes out anyway. So hopefully they might have recruited some sort of talent that knows the league, I think they should just aim for like certain periods of the game. So, for example, game changes. For example, make sure that if you're doing one-on-ones, you've got your best shooters on the pitch. If you get the free corners or free flags for the corner, which obviously then leads to the penalty, make sure you've got someone that can convert because they've not been converting penalties. Yeah, it's just looking a bit all over the shop right now. They need that first win. I know they got 1 point on the board through the Pepsi pressure point, but they really need that first win. I hope they can find it. Otherwise, there will be like season 2 and 5, so to speak.
Yeah, and I personally don't want that for Idris Elba because he's just coming into this league, he's settling in, but I mean it's ironic considering it's Survivor Series War Games this weekend because this is a handicap match because they're coming up against NDL FC and the Yellow Wall. I mean the atmosphere has just been ridiculous, and it's brought something really fresh and exciting to Ball League. I mean, Ball League season 1 in the UK was fantastic anyway, but season 2's just brought something a little bit different, and that atmosphere from NDL FC has just been untouched in terms of the amount of noise they bring, the amount of atmosphere they bring, and it's something that, I mean, I don't know whether you agree or disagree. Do you think from a Rukkas perspective, do you think that will drive them on, or could it be something that potentially affects them?
Well, I just want to touch upon that, what you've just said there. I've said it many a times in many a video that's the one thing that's probably lacking is that kind of Americanism, for want of a better term. It's just that they needed that fanfare. They needed to cheer on players and the team, and NDL have definitely brought that. And I think the more teams that lend themselves to influencers like the Sidemen Boys, your Angry Gingers, and all the rest of it, you get that. Whereas certain other teams that don't have that polarizing figure who's not a quote unquote influencer, they don't have that. But NDL so far, they've brought that. They really brought the noise. They made it fun again. Do you know what I mean? To be a fan watching this sort of stuff. And this is what it should all be about. Will it affect Rukkas? Yeah, I would think so. Rukkas tried to bring their own sort of flavour. Obviously, I still didn't bring them any points, but I think that 12th man, if you like, or 7th man, if you're really going into technicalities, yeah, it does help in terms of what's already on the pitch anyway. I mean, NDL have pretty much got Galacticos on the pitch, in terms of Amin Belay, aka Smalls. They've got Ruben Jr. They've got a whole heap of players, Dom Fos, who got the most assists last season. So they've really got like quote unquote Ball League Galacticos. So it's going to be a tough arts for Rukkas on Monday. I'm sorry, but I can just see it being an NDL win all the way.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough weekend potentially for Rukkas FC, but we shall find out. Clinton, Roots TV, thank you very much for coming on PT Sports today, and I'm sure we'll be keeping an eye out for Matchday coming up in Ball League.
Awesome, man. Appreciate you for having me on, mate.